So I'm here to share with you today the process, the More Prosperous Coach process that you can take up right away, whether you...
God, I hate that ad. But that's the tricky thing about advertisements. As a business owner, you need to create them, but as a consumer, you hate sitting through them, especially if you're here in Britain. Heck, we hate advertisements so much here in the UK, we created a tax that we'd rather pay rather than sitting through another advert. Now that's what I call dedication. But advertising is necessary. It's a necessary evil for you as a business owner. And you need to be able to keep your audience's response in mind when creating each of your advertisements. So last week we talked about the difference between sales and marketing. Today we're going to talk about where advertising fits within your marketing plan. So let's roll that intro. Hiya friends and colleagues, Martin Knapp here with another quick tip to help you increase your business skills both online and offline. Wait a second, are we even allowed to go outside anymore? I don't know, there's a lot of traffic out there. Jeez, is that guy having a barbecue? Where was I? Oh yeah, advertising. So there's two types of advertising. Interruptive advertisements, which are a bit like...
So, you need a logo. The obvious choice is going to Fiverr.
Well, yeah, it's like that. It's called interruptive advertising because your audience is usually busy doing something else when they see your advert. So like watching a sitcom and then all of a sudden an advert for funeral homes comes on. Kind of kills the mood, if you know what I mean. Or they're learning about something and then all of a sudden...
When I was in the jungle, the thought of one thing kept me going. Jan roly-polies.
Yeah, don't be that guy. The next type of advertising is what's called permission-based. This is where the advert is more audience appropriate and you're displaying it to a group of people you have a long-standing rapport with. And by long-standing, I don't mean like in millennial terms where you've Snapchatted a bunch of times and you've been talking emoji rather than words. You know that somebody's part of your audience when they regularly consume your content. As I said last time, they may not have necessarily even bought anything from you, but consuming your content means that they will more readily endure an appropriate call to action that is relevant to the conversation at hand. This is why brand is so important these days, because your audience will only continue to consume your content if it reflects your tone, your values, and the spirit of your overall messaging. AKA your brand promise. Remember, brand is a promise of what they're going to get. So your advertisements kind of need to reflect this. So let's bust some myths here. Local businesses often wonder, where does Facebook advertising fit in all of this? Well, Facebook advertising, as well as Google and Instagram and YouTube, is interruptive marketing or is interruptive advertising. Though some of it can give you an edge, and I'll explain that edge here in a moment. So if for a moment you can imagine the big jumbo screen in the middle of Times Square in New York City, or over here in Piccadilly Circus in the center of London, these are the epitome of interruptive advertising. So I'm walking along trying to get to a meeting in St. James Square, and I look up and I see the advert for British Airways, right? I was thinking about my meeting, so it's pretty doubtful that I'm suddenly going to start thinking about travel. That is, unless I'm really dreading going to this next meeting. These things are costly, and that's because they don't necessarily resonate with your audience in the moment that they are in. You have to interrupt them time and time again. British Airways and Coca-Cola and the big multinationals can afford to splash this kind of cash until it finally drills into the audience's head, oh, maybe I should go on a flight and I'm going to use British Airways, right? This is why people feel like Facebook advertising is a waste, because what you're not told is Facebook advertising is interruptive advertising. It's interruptive because your friends are on there and they're there talking to their other friends. And all of a sudden you're there saying, ooh, buy my product, buy my stuff. It's my job to sell it to you, right? but it takes a lot of cash to knock them out of that moment. So it's a little bit different in Facebook groups, but I'm actually not sure if you can actually advertise in Facebook groups. Now, online platforms do give you an edge. So Google and Facebook do give you an edge because they allow you to target an audience. You should never place an ad on Facebook or anywhere else unless you're going to be quite specific in which audience is going to see it. While 1 million people sound great, trust me when I say 1 million people aren't necessarily going to consume the advert that you put out. Sorry for bursting your bubble. Now, one of the best ways to build an audience is through what's called psychographics. What is psychographics? Well, it's the type of stuff your audience is interested in rather than who they are. So we've created a handy shareable here at Bookable that helps you figure out the types of things people want to hear based on their interests. Check it out, use it, and if you have any questions or dilemmas, comment below or drop us a line. Next week, I'll be running a Facebook Live talking about pitch. Same kind of thing, really, but if you have any questions about how to pitch or anything else to do with marketing or sales or anything like that, online or offline, if we're ever allowed to go back outside, feel free to jump on and I'll answer then and there. Until then, stay safe, keep building your business. I'm out.